What are some key questions that you want to ask yourself before starting the implementation of an AI or machine learning project? I'm Carlos Lara, and today we're going to cover three critical and crucial questions that you want to ask yourself before getting started with AI in your company, and especially if you're at the early stages. And when it comes to success in AI adoption, 50% of the game is asking the right questions. And most people, or more than 50%, and most AI projects fail for two reasons, really, broadly speaking, is they ask the wrong questions, and number two, they focus on the wrong things. So today we are going to learn how to succeed in AI projects and implementing them and extracting true business value. So the first question that you want to ask yourself is, what are our top three to five candidate business problems and why? And when it comes to artificial intelligence, right? So remember, the reason why AI adoption is so powerful and so important, the reason why we're doing it, or the reason why we should be doing it, is not because we're just trying to be innovative for no specific reason, or because maybe our competitors are implementing AI and they're talking about it and we're getting afraid of disruption. That's the wrong reason. That's the wrong focus already, positioning yourself to fail from the very beginning. The focus should be creating and capturing business value. See, AI is technology, sure, and it's the future. We all know that. But at the end of the day, we have to solve real business problems. We have to improve the performance of our organization, of our clients' organization, or of our customers' lives somehow. And that's really what it's all about. It's about solving business problems. So ask yourself, what are the top 3 to 5 candidate business problems? And most people start with this question the wrong way. They start with the AI, with the technology. They start maybe with computer vision, with natural language processing, or whatever it is, and they try to think, okay, where is a what is the problem that we can solve using this technology? And that's the wrong way to think about it. That's the reverse way. You want to start with the business problem first. So what I would do if I were you is look at your existing products, look at your existing processes, look at your existing operation systems, or look at those elements for your clients. Let's say it's a consulting company that you're working for, you want to do that, but you start with a business problem and then you think of, okay, how can artificial intelligence be used to solve that problem, and why even in the first place? Why could this problem not be solved with something else, maybe traditional technology that does not involve machine learning or deep learning? So why AI? Why could this problem not be solved in this way before, and why is AI the right fit? So you want to identify those top 3 to 5 business problems up front. And in a previous tutorial, we covered in a three-part series the 3 steps in the AI adoption journey. It's prove, adopt, and scale. So those are the 3 steps. And if you're just getting started, if your company is just getting started with AI adoption, you want to focus on proving the value on a smaller scale first, and then building on that success once you have some metrics and some business value that you have created. And you may identify a business problem or multiple business problems that are candidate problems to solve, but you don't want to solve the entire problem all at once. So cut the problem up into pieces or into segments and try to solve that problem along one dimension first. That's okay. Take your time. Just do it quick. Just learn quickly and progress quickly. But identify the right business problem. Ask why AI or machine learning is the right solution for that problem. Why can't it be solved otherwise? And also try to think of what is the use case there, what you can do, and stop to think of a smaller portion of that problem. If that problem is already small enough, maybe that's all right, but you want to think of something substantial that will, over time, give you at least a 10x return on your investment. So that's how you want to think about it. And that's the most important thing. Everything begins and ends with a business problem. At the end of the day, if we are not solving a business problem with artificial intelligence, then it's a waste. Then we're not going to get ROI. There's not going to be value for clients, customers, internal stakeholders. So extremely important that we're focusing on that before we even start going into the details of the technology. Now, the technology is important. Someone has to implement the project. Someone has to actually implement the solution, but that comes after, once we have the candidate business problems. The second question that you want to ask yourself is, do we have data? Do we have the right data? And do we have data infrastructure? And what does that mean? So machine learning is using data to answer business questions. Very simply speaking, that's really what it is. And once we identify the business problems, then do we actually have the data to train machine learning or deep learning models to be able to make a prediction, that will help with the solution of that business problem? So we need the data. Everyone knows for machine learning models or deep learning models to be able to predict correctly, for them to work, they need to go through a training process where they learn from data. Do we have it? Maybe we do. See, this happened with one of my clients. We had the data. It was a computer vision object detection in retail use case, and we had the data, but it was not the right data. And we had millions of images, but they were not the right images. There were a lot of issues with them. Some of the images were corrupted. There were not consistent dimensions, and there was a lot of bias built in the data, meaning a lot of the images were roughly the same. And anyway, so that's the subject of a different tutorial. But the point is, you want to explore, the data. What data, or what data set, more specifically, is it going to take to solve that business problem? And data infrastructure. Do we have the proper data infrastructure in place? Or can we create it? What's that going to look like for us to be able to gather the data, collect the data, prepare it, clean it, transform it, label it, all of those components involved in the data engineering pipeline. So it's very important to think of that as well. And we're getting more into the technical side of things. We're getting now into the data, but that's all right, because it's not enough to identify a business problem and create a business strategy. We also need to actually implement the project. We need the actual technology, and we need to start with the data. Any machine learning model or algorithm, anything begins with data. So you really want to give that some thought up front, because and I've made this mistake multiple times, that we don't look into the data strategy up front enough, and then it bites us. It comes back to bite us later, and then we have to adjust along the way, and that's fine. That's still an iterative approach, but you want to keep that in mind and give it a lot of thought up front. And then the last question that you want to ask yourself is, do we have the appropriate talent in-house? And this is important. And look, talent, there's two ways to look at talent. Number one is what everyone knows, the technical talent. Well, of course, again, someone has to implement it. We need the technical talent for, depending on the use case. So that's one. But the other, and perhaps even more important, is who has the domain knowledge here? Because identifying the top 3 to 5 business problems, it's not going to take a data scientist or a machine learning engineer or a deep learning engineer to find those. We need business leaders, someone who understands the particular company or the client's companies, understands the market, the industry, the sector, and understands just the domain, the business domain, so they can actually look at that domain, or in the case of the specific company, look at the products, the processes, the systems, ask the right questions to uncover what is the right business problem that we should be solving here. And that's why you need to actually pair up the technical people with the business leaders. You need to pair up the machine learning engineers or the data scientists with the business leaders, the domain experts, and that collaboration is what brings, what I call the magic in enterprise machine learning, where you can actually create a real use case that adds real value, but you need both. And a lot of projects in the enterprise fail because they only grab technical people, and we've covered this before. They grab PhDs or people that are highly academic or too technical people, and that's fine for the technical, but from a business perspective, that's a recipe for failure. So pair them up, create cross-functional teams, pair them up with business leaders that have that domain knowledge, and transfer knowledge across each other, because you also want, as you move through your AI adoption journey, you want to be developing in-house talent and capabilities and expertise and validated learning. And that's not only from the technical side, that's also from the business, the domain side. So both of those are extremely important. And for any executive role, by the way, if you're considering that, some leadership roles for leading AI adoption or something related to AI or machine learning, especially at the enterprise level, you want to grab someone who is technical and also who has strong domain knowledge of the business or the sector or the industry or the customers. So the combination of business and technical makes someone extremely invaluable in the era of AI. So those are the top 3 questions that you want to keep in mind before you start any AI or machine learning project, and that will position you to succeed and maximize your chances of getting ROI and business value out of those initiatives. So if you want to take your career to the next level, you feel somewhat stagnant in your current job, and you want to join the growing field of artificial intelligence, but coding is not necessarily your strong suit, you want to focus on the business side of things and even get hired to work at the intersection of technical and business, click on the link below. I created a free training to show you exactly how to make this career transition and to help you do that. So go ahead and click on the link below, check it out. I'm happy to help you. And this career transition to AI, especially working at the intersection of technical and business, is a great first step towards growing into an executive leadership role, which we discussed, and those are the things that are really important. Or also maybe starting your own AI company, AI consulting firm, or AI startup, because again, you having worked at that intersection of the technical and business, and you really knowing how to ask the right questions is going to position you to take your career in AI anywhere you want to go. Executive leadership, start your own company, the world is yours. So, thank you for watching. If you have any questions or thoughts, comment below, and I will see you next time.